son was diagnosed with a very rare syndrome called cerebrocostomandibular syndrome. Cerebro is the brain, costo is the ribs, mandibular is the jaw. And he's one of 110 known cases since the 70s. Really not a lot of research, and even with that being said, cases range. So some kids don't have as many symptoms and some kids have a lot of symptoms. In Rami's case, he was born with his jaw was pushed back, basically blocked his airway completely, so he actually wouldn't even be able to get an intubation tube in his trachea. So that's why they trached him. They actually trached him while he was still attached to my placenta, which is crazy. And he doesn't really have anything going on in his brain. He does have like a little bit of extra axial fluid, but the doctors don't seem to think that that's going to cause him any issue. When they originally discovered this syndrome, where the cerebro part of it came in, is that so many kids that were born with this syndrome lost oxygen at birth because they weren't able to breathe and they never knew ahead of time. So then it would cause brain issues, but this could be different for everybody. And then the costo part of the syndrome, you and I have 12 ribs, 12 on each side. He only has 7 on the left and 8 on the right. And even with that being said, like, let's say these are your ribs, some of his are like spaced differently. Some are really close together. Some aren't completely, like if you take your ribs going from your spine to your sternum, they are not completely formed. So there'll be like big gaps in his bone. This is why we're still on the ventilator, because the idea is if we can fully inflate his lungs, then his ribs and his musculature will form around his lungs, his fully inflated lungs, thus preventing restrictive lung disease later in life. I hope that explains a little bit about what's going on with my son.